We really respect one another most when we fight against the current. We have monuments and plaques and all manner of rewards that we give each other, because suffering is the measurement by which we reward one another. And we say, well, it just seems so much more natural to just go with the flow. And you say, oh, that just seems lazy. I've seen those who go with the flow, and even though they are thriving, even though their life seems better now, you just wait. When they die, they'll find out they should have been suffering in this human life. And we say, it is our promise to you that the flow has never been about struggle. When you line up with the energy of your source and you get into vibrational alignment with who you really are, you feel the true power of the universal source energy that is your legacy. It is your inheritance. It is the river on which you live. And so that's what we want to talk about today. We started to say coerce, but that's really not our style. We want to coerce you to learn to allow. We want to remind you of the power of the flow. And we want to remind you of how you can tell when you are allowing the flow or the source energy current to carry you. And we want to help you to remember that the guidance that is within you lets you know in every moment how much allowing of the flow or resisting of the flow you are doing in any moment. And as you reacquaint yourself with the emotional guidance system that is within you, as you begin to utilize your emotional guidance system in the way you knew you would when you made the decision to come forth into this physical body, as you reactivate within yourself the memory of who you really are, as you reactivate within yourself, as you come into vibrational alignment with the way source feels about you, then you'll be in your canoe and you'll be floating with the current, and you can use your clever, creative, specific personality, intent to guide your life into all of the fabulous, satisfying nooks and crannies that are there for your discovery, for your creation. But when you use everything you've got to fight against the current, life never gets very good for you. And as you compare your life with others who are also fighting against the current, you don't get accurate feedback. You have no idea how good it could be when you are comparing your life with others who are also not going with the flow. We like to talk about this flow, and we like to talk about this emotional guidance scale. And we want to remind you that there are so many emotions, more words than we could speak if we tried all day. But along this scale, up here in the good feeling emotions, where love and appreciation are, is your perception of your freedom. And down here in the not good feeling emotions, where fear and depression and despair are, is your perception of lack of freedom. We want you to realize that you are always free. You are so free you can create bondage for yourself. But you are the only one doing it, which means you are utterly free. You are free to choose your vibrational place along this stream or along this emotional scale. What happens so often is, as you have approached life or given your attention to something, and as you do, you feel the discord in your being about it. Let's say something has happened and you are focused in a way that you are feeling absolute despair. Well, your source, who is this powerful part of you, not separate from you ever, is offering the vibration of who you really are. And this is the way that it works. So as your vibration, as your life experience causes you to sift through your life experience, that sifting through causes you to offer a constant birthing of new desires. And the thing that we think that most of our physical friends don't realize is that when you in your body have an experience which causes you to ask for something more, in that asking for something more, the non-physical part of you becomes it immediately. The non-physical part of you becomes it immediately. That's why we write a book that says, ask and it is given. And we want to even add a further title to that. Not only when you ask, is it given, but when you ask, the non-physical part of you becomes it. The vibrational non-physical part of you becomes what you're asking for. So can you imagine, with all that life has... Please turn us down. Can you imagine? Oh, is that better? Give us something in between. Something less with house and more with your own. How is that? Better? So when your life experience causes you to give birth to this new desire, the non-physical part of you becomes it. So can you imagine how much has been expressed by you into what we like to call this vibrational escrow? Can you imagine what the larger part of you has already become as a result of the reverberation? Is uncomfortable. If there is some way of just knocking it back a notch, that may help. So as your life experience causes you to contribute to this vibrational escrow again and again and again, this vibrational escrow becomes your future experience if you will but allow it to be. And the thing that most of our physical beings do not realize is that that vibrational escrow, that the non-physical part of you not only is providing for you, but has literally become, is the strongest vibration of you. It literally is your current. It becomes the current of your stream. And so it is always calling you toward it. So what happens is that stream was flowing before you came forth into this physical body. And that stream is flowing now as a result of what you have been contributing in this physical body. And so as the stream that was you before you came into this body is now added to by the stream that you are contributing to as you are sifting through the contrast, there is this powerful stream of all of the desires that you in your physical and non-physical form have set forth. It is a powerful, wonderful stream. And when you go with the flow of that stream, you feel yourself carried on the current. That's what passion feels like. That's what love feels like. That's what joy feels like. And when you focus in ways that do not allow you to go with the flow of the stream, you don't feel so good. That's what that resistance is. That's what frustration is. That's what overwhelmment is. That's what fear is. That's what despair is you're not letting yourself go with the flow. So now some will say, well, Abraham, it feels like my thoughts are thinking me. Or they'll even go further. They'll say, I believe that there is some evil force. There is another stream. It is the stream of badness or the stream of darkness. And we say everything that you feel, that you try to describe in that way, is only your resistance. You're not letting yourself go with the stream that is really flowing. Can you feel that? Can you feel how the stream was flowing before your birth, long before your birth into this physical body, and how you have contributed to the stream now? And can you feel how important it is for you to stay up to speed with the stream that is flowing? When you let yourself go with your flow, you feel wonderful. And when you don't let yourself go with your flow, you feel frustration, you feel overwhelmment, you feel anger, you feel rage, you feel depression, you feel any manner of things. But it's not because there's another flow pulling you. It's because you are holding yourself in resistance to the flow. Jerry and Esther, with dear friends, went on a whitewater rafting trip yesterday or day before, and as they were in the river, a very fast moving river, it was very obvious to them that they could not have for any length of time survived an effort at going against that flow. In other words, they were going with the flow because the flow was so powerful in relationship to who they are. And we want to say to you that your flow is powerful in relationship to who you are also. And when you are little, before you have even decided to make the effort to paddle upstream, you just go with the current. You just go with the current, and it's a lovely ride. But over time and over generations, your society, your historical background, the people of your world have gotten better and better and better at going against the current. And so some of you can hold yourself against the current. In other words, it doesn't sweep you into the direction of thriving in the way that it would if you just let go and go. As people, you get so good at doing things other than using your own emotional guidance system to figure out which way is in the direction of your flow that you might find it hard to believe. But some people actually come to these audiences from time to time and claim that they can't tell. They can't tell which way is the flow. They'll say, I have this dilemma or I have this opportunity and I cannot tell which way is the way to go. And we want to, as we are playing together today, we want to help you to realize that as you begin to listen for the call of Source, and that's the point that we are really wanting to make with you, that is a relatively new point for some of you, is that your life has caused you to become something that is always calling you forward. And if you're not letting yourself go in the direction of the call, you feel uncomfortable. We've been talking to you for a while about being the deliberate creator of your own experience. And we've been talking to you about allowing and resisting. And you've been hearing us talk about positive emotions and how those good feeling emotions means that you are letting yourself go with the flow, that you are letting yourself be the receiver of the things that you're wanting, and that negative emotion means that you're holding yourself in resistance. But we want you to consider something that is so important, and that is, in the moment that you turn in the direction of the current, the pressure is released and you begin feeling better right away. And what we notice with so many of our physical friends is that when you are standing in the absence of something that you want, and what you want is over here and where you are is over here, you feel like you've got to get over here to where what you want is before you will feel better. And we're wanting you to understand that you can't jump from over there to over there instantaneously. In this physical environment where there is this buffer of time, it takes some time for you to achieve vibrational alignment with that which you want. So if you are determined to be unhappy until you get there, you'll never ever get there. And what we want you to understand is that in the moment that you turn in the direction of where you want to be, you will begin to feel the relative relief of no longer bucking the current. And just making peace with where you are will cause the current to take you right to the fulfillment of that which you are reaching for. If your radio dial is set on 6:30 a.m., you cannot achieve listening to a program that's being broadcast from the tower at 98.7, the frequencies have to match up. It just never works out. And yet some of you have your frequency set on, I'm sick and I want to be well. And then you cannot understand how it is that you cannot be well. And we say, you cannot keep beating the drum of sickness, which has you pointed in the opposite direction. You've got to make peace with where you are. And in the moment that you stop beating the drum of sickness, the current will carry you toward wellness. We promise you that it will. Jerry and Esther have navigational systems in their vehicles. You probably do too. And the system is based upon only two things. Where are you in relationship to where you want to be? So they program in their desired destination, and the system gives them turn-by-turn directions of how to get to where they want to be. Can you imagine Magellan deciding to get very helpful and overlaying 10 or 20 other people's current location and destinations?